Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Brittany. I do health, wellness, mom stuff, pregnancy, postpartum, lifestyle, whatever. I am a jack of all trades. But in this video, I'm obviously by the title and by the thumbnail, I'm going to be talking about what I'm personally doing to prepare for labor. So I'm almost 39 weeks. On Monday, I'm filming this on Friday. So on Monday, I'm 39 weeks. I'm out of breath. So I'm going to tell you guys how I'm personally preparing for labor. I'm not a doula, I'm not a midwife, I'm not a professional, but just my experience. I am a fitness, pre and postnatal fitness specialist, and that's my expertise. But I'm going to tell you guys what I'm doing to prepare, because I do think you kind of have to prepare in some way, but you also kind of don't. You know what I mean? I just feel like you always wing it. For me personally, I had a birth plan last time and it didn't go by plan at all. Like, I was not expecting my water to break. If you haven't seen my birth vlog, you should definitely go watch that. And I'm gonna be vlogging this birth too. I was kind of undecided about it. But I decided that I love watching the birth vlog from last time, from my first son, Grayson, and I'm gonna do it. Why not? So anyway, how I'm preparing for labor. I'm also so behind on everything. I'm also gonna have a hospital bag video coming. It's not, I still haven't finished packing my hospital bag. I know. So you moms that are also pregnant with me, I'm sorry that it's taking so long, but I'm gonna do an updated one because I did one 3 years ago and I packed so much shit that I never used. So I'm gonna do a second time, mom, what packed in my hospital bag, and we can compare and contrast, but that'll be next time. This time, how to prepare for labor, how I'm personally preparing for labor. So first thing, I'm going to talk about two different things, red raspberry leaf tea and dates. So red raspberry leaf tea is both of them, both tea and the dates are supposed to help ripen your cervix, soften your cervix. I don't know the exact science behind it. I don't know if it's like, yeah, 100% this is proven to be true, but for me, I'm like, it can't freaking hurt, right? And honestly, I started drinking the red raspberry leaf tea. I don't think I drank it at all last time. And I started doing the dates, and with my last pregnancy, I wasn't dilated and I wasn't effaced at all until 40 weeks, literally. And this time I was 1 centimeter and 50% effaced at 38 weeks, at my 38-week appointment. So I don't know. This is just the one that I bought on Amazon. Honestly, it was kind of expensive and didn't have a lot of tea bags in it. So I think you can get one cheaper. And then with the dates, same thing. They say to eat anywhere from like 3 to 6 a day. I know I was eating like 6 a day, but they're like big and sweet and pretty calorically dense, which is fine. But I kind of just throw them in smoothies or I eat them with almond butter. But those are just two things that I'm just like, this can't hurt. Why not? And honestly, dates are delicious. I love them. And the tea is actually really good too. I put some stevia in it. I usually I usually make the tea and then I put it in the fridge and I wait for it to be cooled down so I can make it iced, because it's like 90 degrees where I live. So, so those are two of the first two things that I'm personally doing. And the next thing is I'm staying active and I'm walking a lot. So last time I actually had pretty bad SPD or pelvic pain or whatever. I wasn't fully diagnosed. I never got diagnosed with it, but it hurt for me to walk towards the end of the pregnancy, especially the last few weeks or like the last month. Whereas this time I feel so good. I don't know if it's just I'm more knowledgeable about my core health, my pelvic floor. I just have so much more knowledge this pregnancy than I did the last pregnancy. And I definitely think that helped. I'm working out. You know, I'm pretty active, but I've been doing like 30-minute strength training circuit workouts a day. Not every day, anywhere from like 3 to 5 days a week. It's been like anywhere from it's usually about like 4 days a week. We'll go somewhere in between, but sometimes it'll be 3 to 5. I've been trying to get a certain amount of steps in a day. I've been trying to hit at least 10,000, which is usually what I do even when I'm not pregnant. But it just is making me feel really good. And then obviously we know that walking can help prepare your body for labor. And they always say, you know, my doctor was even like, walk, stay active, and have sex. So we don't even talk about that. I'm not trying to induce labor or anything, but I do just want to stay active and keep my body moving. Definitely having tons of Braxton Hicks contractions though. I've been having Braxton Hicks for a long time, but just staying active and walking though, just because it's just good for your body. It's good for your mental health. It's good for everything. Your physical health. It's good for you and baby. You guys know, if you haven't seen my last video, I did post a how to have a fit pregnancy video. I go in depth, you know, talking about just why exercise is so beneficial for both mom and baby. And it's beneficial all the way up until the end, right? And obviously towards the end, you're a little bit slower. You're a little bit more tired. I literally want to take a nap right now. And things might be things might be hurting. You might be a little bit more uncomfortable, but it's one of the best things that you can do. And walking is one of the best forms of movement that anyone can do. Pregnant, postpartum, not pregnant, anyone. It's the best form of movement. It's like our bodies are meant to move. Our bodies are meant to walk. The fourth thing that I'm doing is pelvic floor relaxation and mobility moves. So again, I am a pre and postnatal fitness specialist, and one of the most important things that we need to do when we get closer to labor, I recommend from 35 weeks on, is to relax that pelvic floor. So obviously during your pregnancy, hopefully you have the knowledge and you have been keeping your core and your pelvic floor strengthened, focusing on strengthening both the core and the pelvic floor. But you also want the pelvic floor to relax and to lengthen and to it's like a muscle, right? So let's say your bicep, this is a contracted bicep, this is a relaxed bicep, right? So it's the same thing with your pelvic floor. You want to focus on contracting and strengthening it, but you also want to relax it and release it. So especially, like I said, when you get closer to labor, you want to focus, for example, that deep core engagement that I talked about in the fit pregnancy video. My dog always comes in here to say hi to me every time I'm filming a video. Hi, buddy. So if you guys do check out my fit pregnancy video, I do have a demonstration on how to activate the deep core. And in my fitness program for women, I do have a pregnancy, postpartum, and a core and pelvic floor section where I talk in depth about this, how to activate the deep core. But I want you to practice, once you're 35 weeks, practice activating that deep core while keeping the pelvic floor open. And also doing different mobility movements and different movements to keep that pelvic floor relaxed and open and released, and really focus on releasing it. And I'll input some clips and I'll go over some of the things that is included in my program. And I did also include it on my Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, it's just at Brittany Lester. Follow me there, or my program's Instagram, onehera.us. But we really want to focus on just relaxing the body, first of all. And relaxing the pelvic floor is largely about relaxing your whole body. So releasing tension from your jaw, releasing tension from your glutes. So you making sure you have good posture. Because I find myself often, especially when pregnant, which a lot of people do, their posture is, you have a posterior pelvic tilt and your glutes are clenched, which also causes your pelvic floor to be clenched and to be tight. And I know for myself, when I'm stressed out or anxious and my whole body's tight and I'm not breathing properly, my pelvic floor is also tight. So when we go into labor, we want to open that pelvic floor to help baby engage, to help baby get out of us, right? So what happens when you push? You activate your deep core, you use your core and your uterus to push out the baby while keeping that pelvic floor open so that the baby's head can descend through the pelvis and out of the vagina. Focusing a lot. I'm even doing, if it's like 5 or 10 minutes a day, you can even foam roll your pelvic floor, which I have been slightly doing, and be a little bit like, I have a pretty bumpy foam roll, so it's not really the most pleasant thing in the world, but at least doing mobility things. So for example, doing child's pose. Great movement. Do assisted child's pose. That's where I practice my deep core activation while keeping the pelvic floor open. Child's pose on ball, and then also just like a lean rock back on the ball, which is also a great birthing position. And you know, when you take that deep inhale in, your pelvic floor relaxes. Really just focus on that pelvic floor relax. That 360 diaphragmatic breath. And then when you exhale, it naturally rebounds, but we want to focus on just keeping a neutral pelvic floor and really relaxing it. So child's pose and that ball. The next thing would be butterfly, just a butterfly stretch. Then I do this thing called adductor rockbacks. It's a mobility movement. Mobility is great just for keeping the body moving and relaxing. And, you know, like I said, in my program, I do talk about different cues you can do, you know, on the inhale, on the exhale, so on and so forth. A lean forward with an upper twist. I like that one. A deep squat, which is great, great for opening that pelvis and like loosening up those ligaments around the pelvis. But a lot of times people have trouble, and if you have any SPD or pubic bone pain, don't do anything with your legs super wide open like that, because it can exacerbate the pain. But doing a deep squat, amazing, amazing for feeling that pelvic floor really release. Like you just automatically release it when you get in that deep squat. You can do it assisted on a chair, on a block, whatever. And then this is all on top of my head. Cat cow, great one. You know, put tailbone to the ceiling. You'll feel your pelvic floor really relax. And then anything on that exercise ball. So ball bouncing, hip circles, pelvic tilts, deep lunges on the ball, side to side. Medicine ball, exercise ball is one of the best things that pregnant women can do. It's also great for postpartum. So just a great tool to have. So that's a huge, 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 huge thing that I'm focusing on, is relaxing my pelvic floor a little bit every single day and focusing on that mobility. So then, and then I also have deep core engagement with relaxed pelvic floor. So that as well. So like I said, you want to know how to engage that deep core and to really contract that deep core. But usually when you do that deep core activation, you lead with the pelvic floor. So it's your pelvic floor comes together, it lifts up, and then you activate that lower, middle, and upper transverse abdominis to activate the deep core. But again, once you get around 35, 36 weeks, you want to practice that deep core engagement, which is the number one thing that pregnant and postpartum moms need to know how to do. You want to practice that deep core engagement while keeping the pelvic floor open. So very important for preparing for labor, because that's what you're going to be doing. So yeah. And then the sixth thing is the birth ball also, which again is part of that mobility and that pelvic floor relaxation. Just doing different movements on that birth ball, whether it's that child's pose on the ball, leaning back, focus on practicing different labor positions. Those pelvic tilts, those hip circles, figure eights, deep lunges on the ball. It's just great to get that body loosened up, get those ligaments loosened up around the pelvis, so on and so forth. And then the very last thing that I'm doing to prepare for labor itself is getting my mind mentally ready. So I think that something that a lot of people overlook is that labor is very mental. Like it is a marathon. It is one of the hardest things you have to do, and that's why you do have to be in a good mental state. For myself, I think the best thing for me is like go in with an open mind, and that's why I don't really have a birth plan right now. I don't have like, oh, I'm doing natural, because last time I was like, I'm gonna do natural, and I was like, I really want to try natural, but I knew I wasn't against an epidural, but nothing went to plan, like literally not one thing. And like I didn't care, because I just remember I was so like just like freaking out. I had back labor, my water broke, I was only 1 centimeter, and I'm like, I'm getting that freaking epidural. But yeah, I have it in my mind, like I want delayed cord clamping, I want skin to skin, you know, I know those like hardcore like important things, but I'm not gonna be like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. I'm just gonna go with the flow. I'm going in with a mentally open mind, but also being like, I'm a badass bitch, I can do whatever I want, and if I want to try natural, cool. If I want to get an epidural, cool. Like there's no sense in beating yourself up over whatever decision that you make, or you know, if your labor has to be a C-section or whatever it is. I know that it can be very emotional, and it can be a really important and special time for a lot of women, but just preparing yourself mentally for any case scenario, preparing yourself mentally for knowing that you can do it, right? Obviously there's a lot of fear surrounding labor, because you never know what to expect. You never know how bad it's going to hurt. Even I like forgot. I forgot how painful contractions were. I just forgot like how everything was. So is there a little fear? Kind of, yeah. You know, whether you're first time mom, second time mom, fifth time mom, just preparing mentally is important. So getting in the right headspace, whatever that may mean for you. It might be different for every single person, but that's really important. Whether you need to meditate or journal or whatever it is, just get in the right headspace and know that you can do it. No matter what avenue, no matter how, no matter whatever, a healthy baby is going to come out of you, and that's what matters, right? So those are my 7, whatever, those are my top things that I'm doing to prepare for labor, physically, mentally, and that's it. Let me know if you guys have anything else that you do or that you did to prepare for labor. Personally, don't have a doula or anything like that. I know a lot of people do, and that might be super helpful. I just know I freaking got this. That's all I know. We did it before. We're gonna do it again. We were made to do this, right? That's what I'm doing to prepare for labor, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I would love to hear what you guys do, if there's anything specific or anything that I did not mention. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next video, and bye.